Hi, Dennis Bulldogs. It's Mrs. Johnson, your school counselor, and today we are going to be talking about habit number 2, and that is beginning with the end in mind. And this is one that I'm really fond of, and I'm sure I'll say that about all of them. But as I'm refreshing my memory and reading back through the book, I'm just remembering how important they are even to my life. These are things that will be important the rest of your lives, not just why you're a teen. This is written for teens, but there's actually a book for parents. There's a book for adults. So this is something that everyone can use. And you just get the opportunity to learn it a little bit earlier. So I was looking through the book, and I think I found a few paragraphs that I think sums this up really well. And I'll go ahead and get into it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. And then in the information box below, I will list my questions or challenge questions as always. So we'll go ahead and get started. So beginning with the end in mind and what it means. So it means you may not realize it, but you do it all the time. Beginning with the end in mind, that is, you draw up a blueprint before you build a house, you read a recipe before you bake a cake, you create an outline before you write a paper. It's part of life. So hopefully, you're reading directions before you're taking a test. There's lots of ways that you can think before you start something. You understand the rules or how the controller works on a video game or computer game before you play. It says, so let's have a begin with the end in mind experience right now. Using your tool of imagination. Find a place where you can be alone without interruption. So hopefully wherever you are, it's quiet, or maybe you can listen to this with earphones on. All right, so now you should be in a quiet place, and now you're going to clear your mind of everything. Don't worry about school, your friends, your family. Just focus with me. Breathe deeply and open your mind. In your mind's eye, visualize someone walking towards you about a half block away. At first, you can't see who it is. As this person gets closer and closer, you suddenly realize it, believe it or not, that it's you. But it's not you today. It's you as you would like to be 1 year from now. Now think deeply. What have you done with your life over the past year? How do you feel inside? What do you look like? What characteristics do you possess? Remember, this is you as you would like to be 1 year from now. You can float back to reality now. If you were a good sport and actually tried this experiment, you probably got in touch with your deeper self. You got a feeling for what's important to you and what you'd like to accomplish this next year. That's called beginning with the end in mind, and it doesn't even hurt. And I think this is really important, and I also want to use an example because I was thinking about myself, and I know in the past in these videos I've talked about how I didn't take school seriously really when I got to high school, and really thought that I wouldn't take education further from high school. And so thinking about school, it's important to begin with the end in mind, because a lot of times we satisfy those short-term gratifications, those short-term rewards, instead of focusing on the end and putting in the hard work. So for example, it may seem more fun in the moment or more important in the moment to talk to your friend while the teacher's giving directions, or to hang out with your friends after school other than doing your homework. But in the end, whenever you're trying to apply for colleges, or if you're in middle school and you're going to the high school and you want to be in some really cool classes, but you needed to prove some of those academics before you could be in them, it could really hurt you at that point. And that's true for a lot of things in life, which require discipline. So that's an easy way to think about beginning with the end in mind, by remembering that short-term gains doesn't usually lead to long-term success. So I will have some questions in the information box below to have you keep thinking about beginning with the end in mind. There's so much to this chapter than what I just talked about, but those were the biggest things that I felt like we could get out of it to implement it today. So let's think about what we want to be doing on, May 12th of next year. So I just want you to know that I miss you. I'm sending you all of my love, and I hope to see you soon. See ya.